Introducing WombatDialer 0.9. My name is Lance and I'll be your host for today. What are we going to see today? First, I'm going to introduce you to WombatDialer. So, what is WombatDialer, what it does, and why it was created the way it is. Then we're going to see what's new in WombatDialer 0.9, and then how to test drive WombatDialer. First, a word about who we are. Since 2004, Loway is a company devoted to advanced call center solutions for the Asterisk line of PBXs. Our key metrics product is a very well-known solution that is used in thousands of call centers worldwide to do monitoring and reporting and administering live call centers. So, what is WombatDialer? WombatDialer is our advanced dialer solution for the Asterisk PBX. The idea of WombatDialer is that it tries to complement what your GUI does. It does not try to replace it. It shares your existing PBX infrastructure, tries to have a minimum impact. Most other dialers require a specific infrastructure for them to run and a dedicated PBX. With Wombat, this is not needed and you're going to share your existing resources. Wombat offers multiple dialing modes, so you can basically have all the classic dialing modes for outbound dialers, and is able to share inbound queues in order to do blended service. The other strong point of WombatDialer is that the configuration is declarative. You tell Wombat what you want, not how to do it, and Wombat takes care of how it's actually implemented. So why was Wombat created? Asterisk, as you well know, is a very powerful system because it has very high customization capabilities. It's very flexible, but control happens at the single call level. You control what happens on each call, but it's hard to have a higher view, to look at things from above and decide what to do next. When you try to create outbound scenarios, you find yourself struck because events will happen in the future or at specified points in time. Multiple events, multiple calls have to be placed at the same time, and you have to handle concurrency and parallelism. You need to react to what's going on during the call in order to reschedule other calls or do other things, and you need to keep track of what happened. Plus, it would be hard to scale out of one single box without having something else that observes the box besides, in case of cluster, where each call is to be placed. Wombat tries to be the best of both worlds. So, Wombat is going to drive the calls that on your PBX. You do the configuration through your favorite GUI, so you have all the facilities that your GUI provides. You can program the outbound scenario as if it was one single inbound call, so it's quite easy to do. And Wombat keeps track of connecting, deciding what to do next, deciding whether you have a recall, receiving notifications, sending out notifications, doing all the things that you need to be doing in order to run successful campaigns. The idea here is to have a strong separation of concerns, because you use your GUI to configure your underlying Asterisk systems. We don't try to replicate what already works. Your GUI will offer easy ways to program messages, to record messages, program IVRs, to define queues, whatever. And typically your GUI will also offer a lot of custom integrations, for example screen pops or something like this. With Asterisk, the Asterisk layer is very good at handling calls and is able to share the traffic between the traffic that is created on your existing Office PBX or call center PBX and the traffic that Wombat is creating. Wombat takes care of making sure that multiple campaigns run at the same time or run on different boxes, keeps tracks of results, is able to drive different boxes, different Asterisk systems, and is able to integrate to send and receive data to external systems using its powerful APIs. There are a number of things you can build with Wombat. This is just meant to be a non-exhaustive list, because the idea is that you can mix and match features to create your own solution, something that works for you. For example, you can use Wombat to do telecasting, so sending a message out to a lot of recipients. You can do classical outbound, so you have agents that overdial and are connected to people. You can use different dialing modes. Agents can dial directly or do reverse dialing, so they are gotten first, or they can do preview dialing, where they decide whether a call is to be dialed and what to do next. You can run blended systems using, for example, our Keymetrics GUI in order to have a complete monitoring tool in order to keep track of what's going on and offer your agents a powerful GUI that is specifically targeted at call centers. You can do recall, or you can have your callers leave their numbers. You store the number during peak times so they don't have to wait, and then when the peak is off, Wombat will try redialing these people and reconnecting them to your agents. People don't have to wait so long, and you can make sure that your human resources are used at their best. You can have Wombat synthesize custom messages. So, for example, you could have something that calls you to tell you that your car is ready for pickup and tells you where to pick it up at what time, and then offers the opportunity to talk to a live person. You can run things like appointment reminders, debt collection, trying to have the most information synthesized, so there is no need for human intervention, but you can also have the option to connect those to a live person. You can run reverse IVRs for data collection. For example, we have a number of clients using Wombat in order to do quality assessment of the calls they receive for inbound. So they call people using an automated IVR system and record whether they were satisfied, if they found that if their case was closed, and things like this, in order to keep track of their qualities. WombatDialer integrates and complements our Keymetrics system. Keymetrics will offer you a powerful live monitoring of what's going on and lets you manage agents live as they are working. It offers you an easy-to-use agent panel that integrates a soft phone. You can see it in the picture here. You can get a lot of reporting on all the aspects of your call center, and you can do quality assessment. Plus, Keymetrics is able to scale from very small to very large call centers. We have references in basically any industry and in any country in the world if you need them. What are the benefits you're going to get by running Wombat? The first, and to me, most important benefit is that you can create custom scenarios. You don't have to buy one specific way to handle calls. You can create something that works and gives value to your client's need. You don't have to waste people's time trying to place calls that are in most cases not answered. You can have an easy way to keep tracks of your leads and understand what went on when each was called, whether to recycle it for other campaigns. You can make agents more productive and so happier because they will waste less time waiting for people and will talk to the right persons at the moment they are connected. Will offer a high level of service because people will get the impression that your company deploying Wombat 4 is a professional company and will improve your brand image. Plus, it will increase your outbound sales because you are going to get more out of your human resources. So, what is new in Wombat 0.9? There were a number of changes that are quite significant. The first is that we have an improved and localized GUI. The GUI is easier to use and at the moment is deployed in English, Spanish, Russian and Italian. Plus, we are working with partners worldwide to make sure that we have other languages coming up soon. Plus, the look and feel of the Wombat application is smoother and it's easier to use. The live page was changed quite a bit in order to have a layered view mode where you get more real estate for calls and at the same time more space to work on calls, decide things, change things, pause and pause, understand what's going on. Plus, you can manually adjust the overdialing rate in case you're using it in order to make sure that you're always matching the correct rate to handle the traffic that you're actually having at the moment. Campaigns were improved so that apart from having a new layout, because there are a number of features and it's easier to keep them categorized using tabs, it's easier to understand where things are and find them. Then we added disposition rules that let you decide what happens when a call has terminated its cycle. When you run a call in Wombat, as you may know, you have a set of rules that decide how to react to a specific condition. For example, you try calling somebody, this somebody is busy, and you decide that the call is to be recalled again in like 5 minutes. When this happened on calls as they were being placed. At some point, you're going to decide that the call is done for because it reached the goal, or you don't want to retry it anymore. At this point, you can use disposition rules. Disposition rules let you decide what happens next. So it can send a notification over email or over HTTP, more likely, based on the actual final code about the call. You can add it to a list, to a new list, or to a blacklist in order to say, okay, I don't want this number to be called ever again. You can send it to a different running campaign. For example, you could pre-qualify a number, then dial it again at a different time. And this lets you decide basically what's going on and what happens. We added new opening hours rules. This lets you decide with a very fine detail when you want a campaign, a specific campaign to run. For example, you can have different periods for different days. You can exclude specific days, or you can have rules that vary based on the day of the week. We also have new campaign attributes that let you synthesize correct message based on the campaign that is running, and you can control whether you want answering machine and fact detection. We added a number of features on call lists and improved the preview dialing. On call lists, first, we added multi-numbers. You can now dial different numbers from different people in a sequential way. So the first time you try to reach somebody, you dial their home number, for example. And on second attempt, you try their mobile. On a third attempt, you try another number, and then you recycle them as you need it. Plus, you can now add a time limit for blacklisted numbers. So you can say, I want this number to be blacklisted, but it's not going to be forever. This is going to be for likely, 72 hours, for 1 month. You choose. You can drive this through the APIs, and you can even set this as a disposition rule, so you can specify that given a specific code, this number is not to be called again for a specific period. Plus, we improved the preview dialing in order to make it smoother to use. This is a feature that is widely used because classic outbound based on over-dialing is not feasible anymore in a number of countries, because there are very stringent rules about having somebody online immediately. So we see a lot of clients that are switching to preview in order to be sure that they are matching the rules that are in their country. We tried to make sure that your life is easier when running this and can adapt on any kind of GUI. And we have added new safety measures to make sure that numbers are never lost and you always have the correct termination, even in cases the agent rejects it or something bad happens. We added a new extension, JSON APIs. The new JSON APIs let you do basically anything. Anything you can do using your own GUI can be done using the JSON APIs. This means you can even configure remote systems completely and provision them. You can start and stop the dialer, you can inspect what's going on, you can see the same things you'd see from the live page and decide whether you want to run, start, stop campaigns, whatever. And you can even call reporting functions to get accounting out of the systems. Plus, of course, you can export everything. The last major area of improvement for 0.9 was performance. Our target here was very large systems, meaning that systems that had a sustained load of over 500 channels. We did a lot of technical changes to make sure that the performance improved a lot over the previous versions of WombatDialer. So, on average hardware today, you can think about having Wombat handle a sustained load of over 2000 channels per each Wombat instance. Plus, having improved latency means that Wombat is able to refill channels more quickly, and this means that you can dial more given the same resources. This leads to a number of scenarios that we have been developing during the last year or so. That means that Wombat is getting to be a building block of larger systems that are able to originate a huge number of parallel channels. You can have a provisioning on demand of both the Asterisk boxes and Wombat. So you can think about driving, depending on the kind of dial plan you're using, it is reasonable to have Asterisk originate something between 2 to 4 or 500 channels per single Asterisk instance. And you can have a Wombat drive a number of these Asterisk boxes in order to have about 2 to 3,000 channels per Wombat. And you can have multiple clusters that are driven by a central entity that let you originate a lot of codes. We have been seeing systems that are scaling up to about 10,000 concurrent channels. So that's quite a lot. At this point, my suggestion, if you were interested in what I was saying, is to test drive the new version of WombatDialer with no strings attached. We strongly believe that in order to run a system like Wombat, you need to trust it, and in order to trust it, the only thing you can do is to try it at home and make sure it works for you. Just go to our website and get a free WombatDialer demo key, no strings attached, no credit card, nothing else. You can run it. We're going to help you in setting this up, and we are sure you will like it. Thank you.